Well, look who showed up today. I gotta talk about wrapper classes. Wrapper classes allow primitive values, such as integers, characters, doubles, booleans, those sorts of things. Wrapper classes allow these primitive values to be treated as objects. We're basically wrapping primitive values within an object, kind of like a Christmas present. Generally, you don't need to wrap primitives unless you need an object for some reason, like if you're using a collections framework in Java. And wrapper classes also give you access to a lot of useful static utility methods. So let me give you a demonstration of wrapper classes. The method of creating wrapper classes I'm about to show you is actually depreciated, but it's going to help you visualize how this works, wrapping a primitive within an object. The modern approach is using a technique called Autoboxing, but the method I'm about to show you is a good way to visualize this whole thing. So let's say we have an int of a, variable a. A equals 123. We can treat this primitive as an object by using a wrapper class. Here's how. Rather than declaring this variable as an int, we will use the wrapper class of integer. Integer variable a equals a new integer. And then we're going to pass in that number, that integer, as an argument. A is an object. We're passing in that primitive data type, that int, as an argument to the integer class. So a is an object, but it does contain a primitive value. Again, this is depreciated as of version 9, so you shouldn't do it this way, but this is a good way to visualize it. Then if you need a double, we'll use the wrapper class of double. Let's say variable b equals a new double. Then we'll pass in a double. 3.14 is good. Then we have char, which is character, that's the wrapper class. Character c equals a new character. Then pass in a character. I'll pass in a $sign. We'll add one more. Let's say a Boolean. We will use the wrapper class of Boolean. Boolean d equals a new Boolean. Then pass in a Boolean value. Here's just a few examples. These are all objects, a, b, c, and d. By wrapping these primitives within an object, that allows us to use these primitive values within collections frameworks, such as array lists, which we'll talk about in the next topic. The modern way to use wrapper classes is actually just to assign them directly to their primitive values. The class of integer a equals 123. Double b equals 3.14. Character c equals a $sign character. And then d equals true. This technique is called Autoboxing. We're directly assigning these primitives into an object using a wrapper class. Now, this is very similar to how we declare and assign strings. To create a string, you would say string, let's say e, equals a string of characters, such as the word pizza. You can see that there's a similar pattern. We have always created strings this way. But with Autoboxing, it's a similar process. These are all reference data types. They're a type of object. There's also a technique called unboxing to convert a wrapper class back to its primitive. This is unboxing. So let's say we would like to convert our object of a, it's an integer object, back to its primitive. Let's say int x equals, all you got to do is set it equal to your object. In this case, our integer object of a. This is unboxing. We're taking a primitive that's wrapped in an object and unboxing it, or unwrapping it, and setting it back to its primitive. If we were unboxing a double, we would say double, some variable, equals b. Or chars, char x equals our character object of c. And then Boolean, Boolean x equals d. Again, this is autoboxing. We're wrapping up a Christmas present. We're wrapping up a primitive within an object. And then unboxing is removing it. We're opening the Christmas present. Now, these wrapper classes themselves do have some pretty useful utility methods that are static. Let me demonstrate a few you might be interested in. But there would be too many to cover in just this one video. If you ever need to convert a primitive data type into a string, there's a toString method of these utility classes. So let's say we have string A, string B, string C, and string D. I can convert an integer into a string using the integer wrapper class. It's accessed statically, so we type the name of the class, integer, call the toString method, which is static, and then pass in an integer like 123. So let's do this with a double. We will access the double wrapper class, call the toString method, and then pass in a double, 3.14. Then to convert a character to a string, we would use the character wrapper class, character, toString, and then pass in a character. And then Boolean. We will access the Boolean wrapper class, call the toString method, and then pass in a Boolean. So, strings can be concatenated together. We should be able to do the following. Let's say string x equals a plus b plus c plus d. And then we'll output whatever our variable x is. We get 3.14 at false. It's all one long string. It's because we use these wrapper classes to convert these primitive data types into strings. If you ever need to convert a primitive to a string, then use that primitive data type's wrapper class and call the toString method. Then you just need to pass that value in as an argument. Then it's going to spit out a string for you. Now on the other hand, to convert a string to a primitive data type, there's another useful utility method of wrapper classes. So what we'll do is parsing. We will have an int of a double of b, a char of c, and a Boolean of d. Int a will equal, we're going to call the integer wrapper class, call a static method of parse int. We can convert a string to an integer. I will convert a string of 123 to an integer. Now with doubles, you will call the double wrapper class, and we will parse a double. We'll pass in a string of 3.14. Now, characters don't have a parse method. What you could do instead is with any string, let's say we have a string of pizza, strings do have built-in methods, one of which is the char at method. Return the character at the first position, where index is 0. Again, character doesn't have a parse character method, so you would have to use char at, which is unrelated to wrapper classes. So then with the Boolean, we would access the Boolean wrapper class, call the parse Boolean method, and we can convert a string representation of a Boolean, such as true, into an actual Boolean. And then let's output them. Now we shouldn't be able to add these together, much like what we did when we used the toString method. For example, string x equals a plus b plus c plus d. This isn't going to work, because we're mixing and matching different data types. And then if I was to output x, that would give us a compilation error. To convert a string to its primitive data type, there's various parse methods to handle that within our wrapper classes. It depends on the data type you're working with. There's a couple other miscellaneous utility methods within wrapper classes. I'll just cover two more. So let's say we have a char of letter. Pick a letter. I will pick the letter lowercase b. I'm going to use a printline statement. We can check to see if our letter actually is a letter. We can access the character wrapper class, call the isLetter method, and then pass in our letter. This returns a Boolean, true or false. Is this character a letter? That is true. This would be useful for verifying user input. What if this was a $sign? Is this a letter? Well, this returns false. That is not a letter. I'll switch this back to lowercase b. There's also a built-in method to check to see if this letter is uppercase or not. There's a built-in utility method of the character wrapper class to check to see if this is uppercase or not. Character is uppercase, and then pass in our letter. Is it uppercase? Currently it isn't. That is false. But if it were uppercase, that returns true. Some of these utility methods of the character wrapper class would be great for verifying user input, like a username or a password. Alright everybody, so those are wrapper classes. We're basically taking a primitive and wrapping it in an object, kind of like a Christmas present. In the next topic, we're going to be working with array lists, and array lists only work with objects. So we need to utilize these wrapper classes in order to work with array lists. And wrapper classes do provide some useful static utility methods that you can always access. Alright everybody, and those are wrapper classes, and in the next video, we're going to cover array lists.